The gangsters and the hustlers, the sad. The culture and the sisters even sad. Need to come back, need to come back. Need to come back, need to come back. The gangsters and the hustlers, the sad. The culture and the sisters even sad. Need to come back, need to come back. Need to come back, need to come back. Perfect aim can never miss, but who gon' break the arrow? They talking sideways, but never walk the straight and narrow. I think heavy, so I'm taking on the widest load. I'm trying to level up to balance out the highs and lows. I talk less to keep my eyes exposed. Watching for the opportunities in your crew, they disguise as foes. Being me makes me different from the rest. They shouting out your failures, but whisper your success, yes. Sometimes I'd rather hit the beach cheering vacay, but then I realize that each year a payday. Never will I ever stop, I will be forever hot. I'm a Scorsese on the mic with a clever plot. More crazy with the flow, I'ma let you tell it. Cut the drop for the low just to get you jealous. I'm getting way back. The culture and the sisters even said, need to come back, need to come back, need to come back, need to come back.
Yeah, what's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome. We back. Quarantine and Rap is back, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to first and foremost, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Whoever's tuning in tonight. Um, and I want to apologize because Facebook loves cutting us off with the audio, but we here. Shouts to Katie who can't control herself, the genius, the woman who wears many hats behind the scenes. Um, killing it with the sound effects. You know what I mean? Um, thank you, thank you. Um, so let's get right into it. Tonight, a little different. You know what I mean? We're gonna be. I think this is my first producer artist. Um, I had the pleasure of getting on one of his beats for the Welcome to the Raw Zone Cipher. Um, I believe it was 2 years old already, but yeah, we chopping it up tonight. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm welcoming them into Quarantine and Rap, Live Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah.
some sound
What's good?
effects,
What's
yo.
good? No, she on point, yo.
Yeah.
In my
My
defense,
bad.
though, I think I fucked up when I had jumped out during the video being on. I thought because it was playing on the YouTube, it was perfectly fine. So I think it needed me to be in there because of my sound. My bad.
No, it's all good.
It's all good.
I just
It's
want to
all good.
apologize before we get into it. I just want to apologize to everybody right now. Like I said, Katie wears a million hats: photographer, PR, fucking radio host. Welcome to the Raw Zone. And if you guys are not picking it up, she's also tuning into another interview on another part of the world.
Oh,
So,
my
man,
bad.
this lady works nonstop, man. And I had to put her out there like that just now. Not only because it's funny, but because her fucking hustle and grind is fucking amazing, man. So shouts to Katie, yo. I don't
Yeah.
think, you know what I mean, like as much shit that she does for other radio shows or other live streams that a lot of you do see, you guys really don't realize like the amount of work that she actually does put in. And I'm not saying that because, you know what I mean, like she's controlling this. I'm not trying to do one of them fucking plugs, but you know what I mean, you got to give roses. You got to give roses to the people who are still, you know what I mean, active and still around. So
I
That's
mean,
a fact. That's a fact.
you two are the very few people that actually say I do. I do something for them. Because if I'm gonna be petty, a lot of other people want to claim I don't, and they're gonna pave the way for the real one. But let me shut my face.
Oh yeah. Fuck them.
Live Johnson.
Yo. Yeah.
Tonight is a little different.
Yeah.
I'm letting everybody know right now the shit will be talked tonight. This is
A
a
whole
fair
lot.
warning to everybody tuning in.
A whole lot.
Shit talking will definitely happen. So with that being said, hold on, let me get some water in my system.
You want me to put live in a bigger screen?
No, we good.
Nah.
Yo, live.
Yo.
So, come back. The music video.
Yeah.
You just dropped it.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind the song itself, Comeback?
Pretty much I wanted just to really flex my pen mostly. And second, prior to that record, the last record I put out was Love My Style, and that was November 2019. And then between that time, it was a large gap when I didn't put out nothing for obvious reasons. I wasn't feeling myself as far as hip hop is concerned. So that record pretty much refreshed me. It's pretty much a refresher.
Right,
and reminder that I get busy.
Word, and you just said like you haven't put nothing out because like you wasn't, I guess you wasn't as inspired, you wasn't feeling yourself. Do like what caused that? Is it a New York thing? Is it like personal? Is it like a mixture of everything happening all at once?
I would say very personal.
Okay.
And the reason I could talk about it now, because for two reasons, I'm in a better place to talk about it, and two, I pretty much spoke to the people involved in it already.
Okay.
So the reason why I stepped away from music was losing the group of EDC. That put a huge damper on my spirit. It broke a nigga down. And it made me question myself as to am I a leader? Am I a person that can actually do business with people, and am I built for this business? So when I'm not going to give you the details why everybody split,
right now it's okay.
But I would say that I questioned myself a lot when it happened as to how good of a person I was. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I was fucked up. Like I was in a very dark place, and I think music was in the remedy. So I had to step back and fall back from music, period, and get my mind right and get my shit together. With the whole EDC thing,
All right.
and get over it. You know what I mean? Now I would say I'm pretty much over it. I'm going to move on from it,
Right.
and everybody else already moved on. I'm the last person that didn't move on. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like,
we all have our reasons as to why it takes longer than others. And I think that when that happening, you know, it's like anything else where you need time.
yeah,
You need time to gather your thoughts and go back to the playbook, see where you missed the layup, or
yep,
how the fuck did I manage to get this turnover when it should have been fast break layup, get the point, keep it going. So like sometimes it takes longer for others to move on, but it's all everything happens for. I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason, and you
hmm
needed the time um for yourself to
exactly. You couldn't have said it better. I needed time to heal.
yeah,
And some people don't heal quickly as others. Some people get into a situation and say, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit about it anymore." Me, I hold on to grudges.
mm.
Yes, you do.
I mean, the only upside to that is like, what I mean, like the grudges I've held on to. You can kind of say that I still hold on to a few grudges. Um, Music has always been therapy.
Yeah.
I've always turned to music for, music has been my counselor. It's been my teacher. It's been there when I needed it. Through the good and bad. You know, and that's one thing, being a writer, I'm able to turn to it and vent.
Yeah.
However it is, I vent. So what I mean, like some people may make it look like, oh fuck it, I don't give a fuck about it, or they may act like they don't care about the situation,
hmm
but deep down there is a care there. It's just, I believe it was Lala who said it in the interview. Every A good portion of the people in your life are not meant to be in your life forever.
mm
People are put in your life as a trial, and through that trial, you learn from it. Life is all about learning, and you have to learn from your situations in order to mature yourself. And whether it was a mistake, it's like, what, I was being hard headed, and maybe I was being a bozo, but I needed this to happen in order to learn from me, so that I don't make this same mistake again, whether it was your fault or whether it was you
Exactly.
trusting someone that you can no longer trust. So the fact that you took the time to really take the time for yourself, that's all the time that you needed for your comeback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
And
and
now, that comeback so happens to be the title of the new project that you're working on.
actually, no, the title is called Live Jewels.
Okay.
Originally, Love My Style was supposed to be the first single off of it, but when I started recording more into the project, Love My Style kind of don't fit into it.
Right.
So I knew that if I'm gonna come back out, especially with music that I have coming, I got to come back swinging. You know what I mean? So comeback felt like a real feel good record, and it felt like I got my confidence back. Like, I just had one of my music OGs hit me and said, "This is the most confidence I ever heard you on any record." And he's very harsh, a harsh critic. And for him to say that to me meant a whole lot, because I was really doubting myself for a while. Like, I was like, damn, should I keep doing this, or should I just hang it up and just focus on business? And he's
Right.
like, nah, at the end of the day, whether you rich or poor into this, you're doing it for the culture. Fuck fuck these streaming numbers. Fuck niggas putting music out just to get money off of it. If you ain't doing it for the heart and the love and the culture of it, then what you doing it for?
Word. And Live Jewels is actually your live stream.
Yes.
What was the behind, like, what was the inspiration? Like, what made you start Live Jewels?
I felt like, as far as producers, engineers of that sort, people that's behind the scenes is very unspoken for. And the reason why I started the Live Jewels podcast was to speak for them and give them some light, because many times they go unnoticed and unheard. So, that's just my way of bringing them to the forefront. I just recently interviewed Music Maestro, a dope producer. I did Kid Genius. Did I get his name right? Kid Genius. I interviewed him. He's a known engineer. He got a couple of credits under his belt. And all the time when you look at the music business, people look at the artist first before anybody. But nobody don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So I wanted to bring that to the forefront.
Word. And how long have you been doing the Live Jewels?
Almost a year now. Like, it's still in its beginning stages, and I hope to continue to keep doing it, because I think it's a very dope idea that we came up with, and want to still keep doing, because it actually gives me a time to express myself better. For those who don't really know me too well, I express myself through music better than I can express it through actually talking to you.
Word. Therapy.
Yeah. I mean, this is all music is. It's therapy to a lot of artists, especially a lot of artists that I talk to on a daily basis. And then, without it, some of them wouldn't even know what to do with themselves. So I think it's a dope outlet for people to be creative. And this is why I feel like, for me to hang it up will be what's the word I'm looking for? Disappointment for myself and the culture. And I just, if I'm going to do it, don't do it for the numbers. Don't do it just because you want to get on. Don't do it to make money off of it. Do it because you love it.
Word.
So I found new purpose in what I'm doing now. Like, I don't really care about too much about the numbers. I don't care too much about accolades or anything of that nature anymore. I just want to, I have a real love for it.
And for Live Jewels, what collabs can people expect to hear? Like, who are you featuring on Live Jewels?
Okay, so of course I got you on it.
Yeah. Wait, I want to hear this. Yeah, Live Jewels project.
Yeah, we got Ray Pearson on it.
Okay, hold on. Let's do the bomb.
All right. You got another bomb ready? We got Coney Brooks on it. We got Michael Bostic on it.
Hey.
Can I get a bomb for him too? Like, come on, get Michael Bostic get some love too. You know he's gonna scream at you tomorrow. Who else I got? Who else I got? I got CP the DJ on it. I got a couple. I don't want to give it all up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to give all the features away, but let's just say I got some top tier people on it.
All right. And speaking of top tier, man, fucking, who are some artists that you like? Some major artists that you've either worked with, produced for, and or opened for?
Okay, major artists. Damn me, I gotta have to go in the bag for this one.
All right, I'm back with the
talk your shit.
Okay, so I was signed in 2001 to an independent label where we was touring and opening up for a lot of major names. So I got a lot of names under my belt. I opened up for Styles P once. I opened up for 50 Cent once.
Ooh.
what's that group? Them Country Boys. Is it Nappy Roots? I think it's Nappy Roots. I opened
Yeah,
up for
Nappy
them.
Roots.
Yeah, I opened up for them too.
Oh, that's sick.
Uh, I wasn't there, but my team opened up for Juvenile.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I got a lot of I got a lot of credits under my belt. At one point, I don't want to throw this out there just because, but because I have a lot of non-believers. Jazzo wanted to sign me at one point. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not just talking to be talking. Like, yo, I could call certain people on the horn and verify this information. You know what I mean? Like, and I think as far as production goes, I didn't really get no credits yet, and hopefully
Mm.
one day I get a placement. That's one thing I'm not gonna lie about. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Wait,
So,
what about the no? You have a placement. What
oh
about
yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm bullshitting. Yes, I do have.
sorry,
Camera Air, Camera Airborne bought a record from me, which so happens to have who what's the group that Crooked Eye came the oh my gosh. I'm about
Oh, shit.
hold on, I'm looking
Horseshoe
in
Gang.
Horseshoe Gang. Yes, yes, I did. I did a
Dope.
beat for artists that feature Horseshoe Gang on them, and they hit me up and like, yo, that beat is fire. Like, you really did your thing on that. So yeah,
That's that's sick right there, man. That's what I
yeah,
mean.
that was
Those are ties that's close. Those are
yeah.
real close ties there.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that, like, because I know when he wanted the beat. No, actually, the artist told me he had them as a feature. But
Mm.
when artists be talking, you don't never believe them, like whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But
right.
dude really got paid them for it, and it's a classic record out there in West Palm Beach, Florida. That's where the
Why
artist.
you why you think artists have that type of mentality? Because I'm not gonna front. Like I've
Yeah,
had that mentality many times.
but
Many times.
you know why? Because I've been in this game so long and been fed so many dreams that
Mm,
it's kind of hard to believe people when you first hear them. It's like I take your word for it, but you gotta show and prove me that this is what you're going to do. He's one of the few artists that really was a man of his word and said I got them for the future.
word.
So, and that's all that is. When it comes to reliability, when it comes to people, I don't rely on no one, obviously, for obvious reasons. It's nothing personal. It's just, I'd rather do it myself.
Word. And like how have you managed to find that inspiration and motivation to make music during this whole pandemic and everything going on with the protest and the police brutality? Like how have you managed to keep that motivation going? Like how like has any of that affected you in any way?
It was, I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you. It was hard to be motivated during this time. Like, I honestly, didn't want to do music. I kind of wanted to see what was going on in the world first, watch the news, and then go and create. I think a lot of my new music happened. I recorded after I ingested what was going on in the world and
Right.
myself as well. So the motivation to answer your question, my motivation was more center around getting myself back and making myself genuinely happy with music again. You know what I mean?
Okay. And speaking of like now that I remember, speaking of like being someone who listens to certain people say that they're doing something, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. Um,
Yeah, let's
I
talk
guess
about it.
because a lot of I guess because a lot of niggas be trolling, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I've met niggas like that in my past, and for example, and I say the word trolling because it leads right to this.
All right.
Akon and Nicki Minaj, right, have been heavily criticized for working with 6ix9ine. Now,
Okay.
being an artist and producer yourself,
Okay.
do you and could you separate business from the code of the street?
Well, it depends. For me, and I'll be openly honest, before I came into business, I dived in the streets a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and I was pretty much before I even dived into the streets. My OGs had me take an oath. You know what I mean? Like they told me, like, yo, if this is what you want to do, you can't associate with rats, and you can't tell. Period.
Mm,
Under no circumstances. But being now I'm into business,
right.
right? Unfortunately, it's hard for me to separate the two because I'm street first, before music. Before I even dived into rap, I'm with street first. So I honestly say I can't separate that. Like I just can't do it. I'm not gonna sit here and knock 6ix9ine now. I ain't gonna hate on the brother. If he's getting money, he should live his life and do what he do. I mean, that's one thing I wish people would stop doing. If you not a part of the streets, you know what I mean, don't comment on it. You know what I mean? Like that's not for you to comment on and stick to being a civilian. But as far as what he's doing, get your money. But me, I don't know if I can't. I'll be honest.
Because I was telling Lil D when I had Lil D on here. I was telling D that when you open the hip hop history book, right?
Yeah.
That first chapter, Kool Herc, the birth of hip hop, started in the park. You know what I mean? Like you got that chapter.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna come across the first chapter when it comes to 6ix9ine. Then you're gonna come across the chapter where 6ix9ine was able to dodge prison time and come home for snitching.
Yeah.
And deep into that chapter, you're gonna see how there's a good portion of people who find nothing wrong with what he did. Me personally,
Yeah.
he should have did the time he needed to do for the shit that he did on his own accord.
I agree. You're the first person I could agree with you on
The,
that.
the
I'm
shit
glad you
of,
said that.
the shit about these people setting him up, sleeping with his baby moms and all that. Listen, that's not my place to speak on. I have no type of opinion about that whatsoever. But him and his lawyer found a way to include his wrongdoings into that deal.
Yeah.
And he managed to come home.
Yeah.
Now, I cannot sit here and just disregard everything that's happened for him and because of him. When you open that hip hop history book, you're gonna have the Kool Herc. You're gonna come across the 80s. You're gonna come across the 90s. You're gonna come across the ringtone era. You're gonna come across snap music, and then somewhere down the line, you're gonna come across 6ix9ine. Now,
he made
me
history.
personally,
He made history.
as far as Akon and Nicki go, I don't care.
Yeah.
And when it all comes down to it, Akon ain't doing shit for me. Nicki definitely ain't doing nothing for me.
Facts.
Do I like Nicki as a rapper? Nicki could fucking rap. I will never take that away from Nicki Minaj.
Agreed.
Am I a fan of her music? No. Am I expecting Nicki to stay the Nicki from the Come Up DVDs? No.
Nah.
But I am not a fan of the music she's put out.
Yeah.
Can she rap her ass off? Yes. And let me ask you this question before I even continue on. Nicki Minaj. A lot of people giving her, the biggest salutes, whatever, for the shit with Jay, Kanye, and Ross. Would she have gotten that much love to this day had she been limited to a 16?
That's a hard question.
Because given that much playtime, given that much playtime, I would fucking spaz too.
Yeah.
But has she been limited to a 16 bar verse or even a 12 bar verse? Because a lot of these artists nowadays are not even dropping 16; they're dropping a good 12. So would Nicki be given she bodied that, she killed these niggas on their own shit? Would Nicki have been given that much praise had she been limited to a 16 bar verse?
Probably not. Probably not. And my reasoning behind that is, you know, even though towards the end her lines were more memorable. So in the beginning, it was just like the setup bars. You know how most artists, right, is the setup bars, and then you get to the nitty gritty, and then towards the end you go in. You know, so if I have to say nah, and you know, it went no. She wouldn't got the attention she got if she was limited to 16. I kind of have to stand on that.
And I definitely know what you're talking about as far as like writing the setup, because when I especially when I do cipher verses, right? Let's take grind mode for an example, right?
Yeah.
How I maneuver these verses. Once I get the first two bars, everything else is a go. You got your first two, then you have 3, 4, 5, 6 to work towards 7 and 8. That's half the verse. The 8th bar is the first tap to your jaw.
Yeah.
That's to shake you up, like, oh shit, that happened. Now 11, 12, 13, 11 and 12. All right, now I'm dancing around a little bit. 13 and 14. Now I'm working my way to getting into your body.
Yeah.
And by the time it's at 15 to 16, the 16 is gonna be the 16th bar is the one.
Yeah.
It's the one that's gonna fight done.
Yeah.
Iron Mike in 48 seconds.
Yeah.
So like I definitely know what you mean about like being limited to a 16 and writing a certain way. I definitely understand that shit.
Yeah.
Do you think that people who stay with that street mentality can never and that's another thing too about Akon and Nicki.
Yeah.
I understand. The goal is to get out of the street or get out of the hood.
Technically.
Right? But then it's like I understand the move they made. I understand it. I have nothing against it. Do I care about it? No, but I understand it.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of people are making a mistake keeping that mentality? Like you said, if you're not about that street life, then you should try to have that street mentality.
Yeah. Okay, to answer your question thoroughly, I don't think it's good to have street and business mixed the same. I never thought that, because look at all these rappers that are getting killed left and right. But they pretty much they was in the streets before rap, so they had street issues that somehow spilled into. Well, it didn't spill into music because no, it did spill into music because they sitting there dissing each other on tracks, and then of course it's gang shit and gang culture. I think it should always be separated, and I feel once you get to an age when you start to grow and start seeing different things, you start seeing the world past your block. I'm sure that anybody that's my age could probably tell you the same thing too. You know what I mean? Like, if you are blessed to actually make it that far without being unscathed, then it's like your mentality changed either way. Even if you still in the music industry, your mentality changed. You don't hang with the same people, especially if they're on the same bullshit they were when y'all was, young and dumb at the, you know what I mean? Like, so I think with music in the streets, I think it should be separated. But unfortunately, with most of these artists that come into the music business, they don't know how to honestly shake that off, because you bringing them something new, but here it is for years. This is how they survived, and this is how they knew how to move. Because if they didn't know how to move that way, they would have been long gone in the streets before the music came along. So they still would have to have that mentality of being in the streets, because now you got a little fame with you, you got a little money. Now it's even more reason for your ops to take shots at you. So, fortunately, they're going to have to still move a certain way until they can make amends for themselves, or they could get enough paper to get out of their environments and possibly move somewhere else. Because the funny thing is, with the hip hop game, everybody thinks once you get a deal, you rich. That don't work that way.
Yeah.
You know, half these niggas is probably still in the hood.
Right.
Just got a little bit more paper than the average bear. That's all that is.
Word. And you said something, and as soon as you said it, like I went into like my evil fucking my evil fucking position. So you
Yeah.
mentioned diss tracks. Ah, man.
Oh man, yeah,
All right. So back in the day, right?
yeah.
I had a certain issue with someone, and that person. Well, there wasn't an issue. What happened was someone who I was who I was a pair with, like a rap duo. I had a
Okay.
falling out with him because he went and stole someone's lyrics from. As a matter of fact, it was Ransom. He came back from vacation, spitting this
Okay.
crazy ass verse, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, yo, like this nigga came back with a fire ass verse. Then I'm on the phone with him and my boy K Money, and he starts rapping the verse, right? And my boy Money starts going along with it. So we hang up. So at the end of the verse, Money was like, "All right, yo, I'm gonna hit you guys back." So I hang up and I'm like, "Damn, my nigga, you spit the verse on him? Like, how he know that shit?" Then my dude was like, well, "I don't know." Then I get called on the other line.
Yeah.
Now I got dude on hold. Now I'm on the next call on a three-way with my boy Money, my boy Fate, and he fucking played the Ransom verse from, I believe the freestyle was on the lean back beat, and it's the fucking
Wow.
verse. I was like, no. So then from
Wow.
there it was like we had to falling out. He went to another part of
Uh-huh.
where we live, and he was telling this dude who used to date my ex. He was like, "Yo, this nigga did a diss track at you, blah blah blah." Blah. And then you know what I mean. I was by there one day by where homie lived,
Uh-huh.
and he approached me, and I told him like, "Well, honestly, I didn't diss you. Actually, it was him that dissed you, because I remember when he came to my school and wanted me to not to cut school that day to record the diss track, but I wasn't going to do the diss track because I don't have any problems with you." So he
Yeah.
was like, "Well, I did the diss track anyways. If you want, hear it. If you respond to it." So I told him right
Mm.
then and there, if I don't respond to it, it's because God told me, God, that's a sign. But
Yeah.
if I respond to it, but I remember telling him, you better have killed me, because
Mm.
if you didn't, it's over.
Yeah.
So it brings me, I respond, and I get the word back that now he wants to fight me. When it comes to diss
Wow.
tracks, right?
Wow.
I think of the Jay and Nas beef, right? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing, you can take someone's life, and you take that person's life, and you might as well have taken your life too, because now
Yeah.
you doing life for something that you didn't need to take
Yeah.
someone's life for, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that person's dead. You're doing life in prison, but music continues.
On.
The music
Yep.
never stops.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna continue evolving. New artists are gonna come up. Artists are gonna retire. So
Yeah.
when it comes to like being competitive, I never want to take it past the music,
Yeah.
because
I
at
agree.
the end of the day, what are you gaining by physically harming somebody for what?
No,
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, music is going to continue going on to the end of time.
Yeah. I agree.
And now you can't make music now because you're doing time. And now the person you killed can't make music because now he's in a grave or he's in someone's urn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So my
Yeah.
thing with diss tracks is I don't think that people should be scared to make them, because hip hop is always going to be a competitive sport.
Yeah.
And that competitiveness is needed. We
Yeah.
need that competitive. Now, another story, right? And this all ties together. Back when they did the double XL freshman cover with 21 Savage and whoever else was in his class. It might have been Uzi and a bunch of other niggas, right?
Okay.
Now, I stopped fucking with Double XL when they didn't give Snow the Product a
Same
place
here.
on their list.
Same here.
So
Same here.
get the freshman list comes out. I don't know shit about it. I don't care about it. I don't know who's on the cover. I get an email. Yo, 21 Savage is charging this much for a verse and he's charging this much for a hook. Okay, I responded back. Well, go tell 21 Savage that I charge the same. You hit me up first. Lo and behold, it was actually 21 Savage who I was talking to.
Wow.
So now me and him are going back and forth, and I was telling him, like, yo, I'm not the one.
Yeah.
Like, how about find the beat, get at me, and I'm gonna get at you. And we were going back and forth through email for you had a good amount of emails. But then I just thought to myself, I gotta back off now.
Yeah.
For the reason that I don't have a machine in my corner.
Yeah.
So me writing my hardest bars for this nigga, because I wash him, is not gonna mean anything.
Exactly.
Because who am I? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He's already on. I'm not.
Yeah.
So it makes absolutely no sense. Now, to hip hop is always gonna be competitive. And I don't think artists should shy away from being competitive or dropping diss tracks, but be smart about it.
Exactly.
Why beef with fucking Hector from 4 houses down when you can find a similar interest with that person, build and shake the ground that these industry niggas is walking on?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
You know why? Because a lot of people are small-minded. They, unfortunately, with people of minority descent, they think I got to do better than the next person automatically, and they don't get it twisted. They will build with certain people, but not just for everybody. You know what I mean? They opt to them. When you know what I mean, it's especially if you got some real personal shit that happened between, and it even makes it worse.
But then it's like, at the end of the day, who really loses? There's no winner, there's no loser, because you just wasted your time proving these fucking executives right.
Mm-hmm.
Why you think the South has been killing us for years? Because they've all managed to work together.
Yeah, they were
now
unified.
You got a few no names, and I'm just speaking in general because I've dealt with it, but I was younger, and at the time, what music wasn't what it is now. Yeah. You can pass the CD to someone and someone to hear it, and a bunch of people can hear it. Now it's number based.
Yeah.
And now it's a different game now. But what I'm saying is, you got 15 people, and you got that's enough to fucking Wu-Tang this shit. But now you can't, because 12 out of them 15 have a problem with each other, or 12 out of them 15 have a problem with the remaining 3. And so now it's social media comes into play, and now the subliminals are happening. It's like, yo, bro. build, and fucking, if y'all gonna, don't diss me, nigga. Diss this nigga that's already on.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to where he's at.
Yeah.
If New York isn't gonna do it, then this fucking project do it.
Yeah.
These niggas need to know where we come from. 15 people, 15 rappers coming out of one fucking project building. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's more powerful than y'all separate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's more powerful than the individual.
Exactly. I wish that I could fucking work with all the other artists in my area, but unfortunately, it doesn't happen because a lot of niggas is in their own circles, which is fine with me. I don't care. Yeah. Keep that competitive spirit when you're writing. Y'all don't have to go in there on some fucking grimy face looking like, yo, fuck you, I'm better than you. Nah, it's only gonna keep that competitive spirit because it's only gonna make the song better.
Yeah.
That's why, and you know, that's one thing that I want to get out there to the general public. I don't care who you are. Build, and fucking conquer.
Yeah.
Because wasting your time smacking your next door neighbor is not going to do anything. You're not going to gain anything from it.
Facts.
You might have a second of satisfaction, but that neighbor might fucking press charges on you. Now you can't do what you're doing because you slapped the wrong nigga.
Yep.
Go to one of these nigga shows. Go into High 97 and smack Ebro. You might get locked up, but what's gonna happen? That shit's gonna hit World Star. And now we're waiting for you to come out of jail because now we're expecting you to drop a fucking hit.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, as far as diss tracks are concerned, if you want to diss a nigga you don't like, wait until you're on.
Yeah.
Or fucking get together with another artist you respect and come up with a game plan and target somebody worth targeting.
Yeah.
Build. Because what's all this local beefing gonna do for anybody?
Not a damn
compared
thing.
to the next nigga who's gonna get signed to 300 or fucking the label that Migos is signed to.
Yep.
While you niggas are wasting your time on each other, look, this nigga come up, roaches in his bathroom, and he's up there now looking like $1 million because you two wasted your time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me generally speaking to anybody who has that mentality of not looking at the bigger picture or what could possibly happen for you.
Exactly.
Live.
Yeah.
Out of every song that you got out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is one if not your most favorite song? What is your favorite song that you have out?
My favorite song got to be Bootleg Industry. It's got to
be.
Please,
like what? Explain Bootleg Industry.
At the time I was feeling the way about the indie scene. Fires Kept do feel a way about it too. And I don't care who feels the way if I feel a way. Fuck you. But anyway, as far as you know, at a time I was feeling like a lot the circle, they want to be industry, but they don't know nothing about the industry. So it's like y'all running around with a chicken with your head cut off. You know what I mean? So for me, I felt like this whole scene is bootleg. I felt like a lot of the shit that media do, artists do, even fucking graphic designers. I will put myself out there. It's a lot of this shit is fake, B. Like a lot of this shit ain't even pretty much. Instead of learning the business, I think a lot of people think they know what the business is, and they be so careless to put information out there to others like they know game, but honestly they don't really know shit. If you knew something, you would have been on already. You would have had a million in your bank. The best advice, you know what? The best advice a person ever told me, and this person is a millionaire, right? He said you can only learn from others that are actually doing it or doing better than you. You know, you can't learn from somebody that's at the same level as you. No shade. And that always stuck with me ever since, because this is, you know, I'm just an average Joe. This is a millionaire giving me game. Like, listen, you know, you want to become a millionaire, learn from us. We your coaches right here. We already done it. We're already in the game. You know, but what happened is, I think a lot of people be leading these artists down the wrong path, honestly. And that's just me, honestly speaking, including myself. So I felt like at the time I needed to speak my mind on it. And that's where Bootleg Industry came about.
All right, yo, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now, we're going to actually play Bootleg Industry. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. 1 second. Technical difficulty.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh man. Hey yo, live. Niggas can't fuck with the authentic, baby. Suckers gotta stay in a sucker's place. Talk your shit, listen, I ain't with the politics of fuck shit, no. Bloggers in these PRs talking much shit. They talk a lot. You can keep your theories and opinions. I was making splashes way before King's Dominions. Artists pay attention, know your own work. Know it. Radio should always do their homework. They're still spending money on these showcases. I go hand in hand, I know the old basics. I ain't with performing in front of other artists. I call that shit counterproductive. Every criticism ain't really constructive. They bad boys, but never been on no fuck shit. I drop shit just to make the hood nervous. At least I can sleep well knowing I did good service. Take it till you make it, that's your motto. You're better off getting rich by the lotto. So y'all expect me to be politically correct when we got artists out here rocking fake Jesus pieces? I guess being authentic don't count anymore. Oh, let's not forget about the ones that talk shit like they about that action, but when you see them, it's all smiles and hugs. I guess when their voice is more important than getting a check, huh? That's cool. I just pull up in my new vibe while y'all still taking the train. I start my rap so you can show me a page stop off music. Let me go back in. Listen. Let's clear the air. What you doing for the culture? What you doing? Bad business is what them people torture. It seems everybody at odds to get even. I cook my own plate. Your pettiness I don't feed in. I don't want that. Hungry for the game, but I don't beg well. They try to scramble me, but now they walking on some eggshells. Eating good steak, sipping Mountain Dew. We have done everything that you're about to do. Spent 7K on my own still. That means I could record when I want to. I can trace some graphics for a writer. I bet a few that you wanna bite us. From now on, I'm only being biased. You can wreck this set, but I advise don't even try it. From now on, call me Wells Fargo on the check. Told me I'm not a hero, they don't marvel your success. I guess I can start picking up my inbox, texting me for favors. Hit my email. I got a manager that responds to that, not me. Since y'all want to be Hollywood and shit, I might as well do the same now. Same nigga, new business. Nothing has changed except the circles of people. Speaking of circles, I don't fit in with no squares, so mind my back if I don't respond. Return to the king. Talk your shit,
yeah. Yeah. Talk your shit. Huh? Talk your shit. Bootleg industry. Live Johnson on this shit. Huh? Talk your shit. Yo, so don't fucking recommend. Question, right? Cause when I write,
Yeah.
I have a process that I like to go through. I'm the type of person that when I write, when I'm in my zone, I like to have coffee with me. Like I drink coffee when I'm writing.
Oh, wow.
Like I don't know, I just being so in the zone. It is like I got that coffee with me, and I don't know. I guess in a way I feel like it helps, right? You know,
Yeah.
Superman needed a cape, crackheads need a fucking pipe, you know, like whatever helps, right? So
Yep.
what is your writing process and beat making process?
Oh, okay. That's a good. Most 9 times out of 10, I do the beat first. 9 times out of 10. So if I do a beat and I so happen to fuck with it to the point where nobody's getting it, I actually sit with the beat for a while, drive around, try to catch a vibe. You know what I mean? Like drive around the city or drive around Long Island or wherever I'm at, catching the vibe. Then I start freestyling to it, you know, here and there. What will I say? How I'm going to say it? and then I start pinning it. You know what I mean? Like it's a longer process than usual for most artists, but I gotta vibe with a track first before I even start writing to it.
And who are some hip hop artists that's inspired you to do music?
Definitely Nas, definitely Jay-Z, the biggies and the greats. More recently Royce the 5'9", more recently Kendrick and of course Cole.
Or
Those are a few people that I could say those are my go-to inspiration when it comes to creating art.
word. And speaking of Nas, I believe Nas drops at
So
midnight.
at midnight, I'm from Queens, so I'm ready. I'm ready, God.
Where fucking who like what is one of your all time favorite beats?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's hard to narrow down. God, I gotta go with the 4-2-3-2-1 LL Cool J.
Mm,
That's definitely an all-time favorite. Uh, I gotta go with the Just Blaze track. My name is Hove.
oh,
That's one of my
okay.
favorites too. Then if you want to go to the West Coast, Dr. Dre's. It's two records. It's of course still DRE, and the other one is what you think? What's the difference between me and you?
Oh, crazy ass fucking song, dude.
Yeah, those are like some of my favorite beats ever. And as far as underrated joints, I would say the what's his name? The Just Blaze produced track with Jay Electronica Exhibit C.
Yo, classic fucking hip hop record.
Yo,
Classic hip hop record.
every time I hear that record, I just want to go on the beat machine and just find a sample that like that and just go in just like the way Jay Electronica went in.
That shit timeless. That
Very
song's fucking timeless.
timeless, man.
And
Like,
and speaking of 4-3-2-1, you're like, don't you miss that like that them type of songs like
yeah,
where
when
them collabs where it's like everybody like killing it, even though Cannabis got this on the same song, but everybody like
yeah.
equally fucking just going in like the
Oh,
Triumph and 4-3-2-1 and fucking 24 Hours to
don't
Live.
don't forget about Beats from the East from the Lost Boys. That's another one. I forgot to mention that.
Damn, man. It's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You see these like those are things that like, yo, like we can only get back by fucking digging in the crates to
yeah.
listen to.
But you
And
know what?
that's no knock on today's music or any any young and on doing their thing. It's just like years from now, what's hot now, the youth is not gonna see it that way. So to them,
Yeah.
their 4-3-2-1 might be fucking Migos and Little
Yep.
Yachty collabing.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel there's always this, oh, you were old head. It's not even there. Cause even niggas from the 90s wasn't disrespecting Kane or Rakim
At
or
all.
other niggas don't niggas still get busy, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like that disconnect from the youth is like, yo, like, dude, like you're gonna grow up and you're gonna the same shit you're telling me, someone's gonna tell you. And the same thing we're feeling, you're gonna feel. Cause it's not even about the disrespect or calling someone a no head. It's just, you know what I mean? Like you were just fortunate enough to come up at a time where that was what we got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fucking second round knockout and Ripper
Yeah.
Strikes Back and Take Over Ether and you know what I mean 50 and Jaws. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I honestly think the reason for that disconnect is back then we was more hungry. Now it's so much money that it replaces the hunger.
Because I think
mean,
the love for it went out the window.
oh yeah, all the way out the window.
It went from t-shirt, jeans, and Timbs to suits. And then that's symbolic to what I'm saying is like you went from having that underdog, that DMX 2 albums in 1 year shit to
Yeah.
single after single after single, which is cool. However you do your music is how you do your music. And
Yeah.
I still have, like I was telling Model Rings last week, I still have the fucking video in my highlights from when I recorded Nipsey on 105.1. He's like, you have your album artist and you have your single artist. I don't consider myself a singles artist. I could throw out a song, but it's not gonna mean the same as a body of work would mean to me, because a body of work is like, you can't expect an author to put out one page and be happy. No,
Yeah.
that author is gonna create a fucking masterpiece of a novel, and you from the first page you set your eyes on to the last page is just he's taking you through a fucking visionary story. You're gonna visualize everything that's being talked about, and I think so many fucking Harry Potter books came out and Twilight books, because that's the whole thing. Like, it's
word, we could talk about that.
I have nothing against people or artists who drop a song every 2 weeks or every week. That's fine, whatever. But me personally, I'm more of I'm a body of work artist, and that mentality being that we're stuck in a tri-state, there is a world outside of what you're accustomed to, and there is an audience for everything.
Oh yeah,
everything. Especially so what might not work for Queens may work for Kentucky. You know what I mean? So it's like, people have to get out of that state of mind that is like, oh, like if you're not doing this, then you're not doing anything. That's bullshit, and it's completely wrong.
Yep.
And speaking of 4321, right? Dr. Dre had hands in on producing the Firm. And being that there's actual fucking Firm reunion track on the Nas album.
Listen, fam. I'm going to stay up to 12 o'clock just to listen to that record.
Yeah, no, that shit's getting listened to tonight. It's getting listened to when I wake up.
Yo, I've been waiting for that.
Yeah. Fucking Dre, right? You had hands in on producing the Firm.
Yeah.
You being a producer yourself, if you can build your own firm/super group, 3 male MCs, 1 female MCs, who would be your firm?
Ooh. Okay. Well, just to put a disclaimer, I ain't never doing groups no more. No shade. But anyway, and that's no shade. That's no shade. It's just that's not where my mindset is at. But to answer your question, definitely female wise Rhapsody got to be in it.
Okay.
J. Cole got to be in it because them two vibe together. And who else? Who else? I can see Royce in that too. I can see Royce in that. I need like a wild card, someone that you wouldn't expect. Maybe Big Sean.
Okay. That like would be a firm.
That to give that commercial, little commercial twig to it,
And the upside to that would be that both Cole and Royce produce. So that's even more of a threat.
Yeah.
But now, excluding Rhapsody now.
Okay.
Would you ever want to see a female firm? All females.
I think it'd be dope, but with the females we have now, I don't know if it's possible.
To the known eye, like me, I throw Nitty Scott in there.
Okay. Oh, if you're talking definitely about spitters, not me.
Like you know what I mean. Like we wordsmiths, fucking MCs, like who can do it all.
Okay.
Like I throw Nitty Scott in there.
Okay, I can see that.
Fucking who else? I throw Rem.
Okay.
I can't exclude Lady Luck. Lady Luck being there. And who else? I mean, maybe just maybe Rod Digger. That'd be my firm.
For female squad, yeah. And like, people forget that Lady Luck gets busy.
Hell yeah.
I know the infamous battle with Remy Ma and her. Remy Ma won it, but let's not forget she was
man.
torturing Cat.
Rem won because it was Rem, but I watched those battles and both times I thought Luck was cheated.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cause how I look at it is this. If I'm battling someone, right, and I got dirt on them,
okay,
that's my third round. That's how I'm ending this.
Okay.
I'm ending you with personals. How did you wait to the bonus round
to go there? Yeah. And it did look kind of sus though. I ain't gonna hold you. That whole bonus round was sus.
Yeah, and I love Rem. I mean, I've been a fan of Terror Squad since fucking back in the day when Pone was alive. I've been a fan of Terror Squad. But honestly, I thought Rem took an L both times. And that's just me. Other people may, have a different opinion and shit. But that'd be my firm. Rem, Nitty Scott, Luck, Rod Digger.
I could see that.
Or if you want to spice it up and throw a fifth body in there, Miss Hustle.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody touching that.
Yeah.
Producer. The producer part of Live Johnson.
Okay.
With the issues that Cash Money, Young Money, to name a very few, have had in the past of being sued and being put on blast for not paying producers. As a producer yourself, what do you think other producers should do going forward? Submitting beats to major artists. Like what can these producers do so that they don't get their shit robbed?
Yeah.
Ghost produced or even used and they don't get properly paid for it.
Okay, so there's several ways you could go about this, but I'm gonna go with the poor man's way because not everybody got money to really copyright this shit all the time. So we could do it by go get tags for your beats. That's first and foremost. They little to $12-15. I bought like some tags for like $20 or some shit like that and tagged all my joints. That's
watermark them.
Yeah,
watermark.
Yeah, that's pretty much the easiest way to stop all that bullshit and don't give your beats out without a tag, because once you give it out tag, it's subject for use for anything. Now you can't honestly stop ghost producing. You honestly can't stop that. Like there's nothing nobody can do about that. Unfortunately that comes with the game. But yeah, tag your joints, and then also I think with if you bounce your tracks to Wave and set the Pro Tools file has a date attached to that Pro Tools file. So if any of the court of law, if you say that this is your record and you actually have the file with the date attached to it in the metadata with the track wherever you produce. So that's another way you could protect yourself, is bouncing it to Wave and creating a Pro Tools track for it. I mean, it's more work. I ain't gonna hold you because I strictly do my beats in Fruity Loops, but I'd rather take the extra time to make sure I'm protected.
And the crazy thing is that I didn't even know back then when some shit was revealed to me, I didn't even know ghost producer was a thing. Fucking, I'm in the studio and I'm not even gonna mention who or the producer who's been a part of the versus battles.
Yeah.
So I'm there and I'm going through beats. So he plays this one joint and I'm like, he's like, yo, does this sound familiar to you? So I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
And then he shows me the date of the beat. So I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, at first I'm like, it's not ringing a bell. Goes into YouTube. Fucking starts playing one of the biggest hits. And it's from one of the producers who's been a part of the versus battles. I'll tell you off the shit. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna cause any type of rift or whatever. But when I heard, I was like, no fucking way. Problem he had, sent the beat. This nigga took it, reproduced it, and put one of the biggest names on in hip hop on it, and it's
Jeez, damn.
it's in the history books now. You know what I mean? So it's like, and even crazy shit, even up now, like there's certain songs that's out, and you got certain producers who produced beats about 2 years ago, and it's either, well, it's reproduced, or it's the beat, and they just never got paid for it.
Yeah.
I think at that point, I feel like for producers, I think, you know, them themselves are part of the blame because they're trying so much to get placement that they're not doing it the right way, and it's causing their shit to get stolen and ghost produced
all the time.
If they really want the beat, they'll pay you for it.
Yeah, they'll find a way. They make arrangements.
And if they ghost produce it, take them to court. You got everything that you need.
Yep. As long as you got your shit set up right.
Get your royalties, if anything.
Yeah, you know,
if it's the biggest song in the world, we'll know that it came from who it came from.
Yeah,
and that'll bring you custies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that, like, and I'm the type of person, I'm not someone who takes freebies. Honestly, I don't like leasing beats because I'd hate to be somewhere at an open mic, and yes, I do open mics because you know what I mean. Like it's just a part of the art and the craft that, you know what I mean. Like it's just a part of who you are. So I don't want to be somewhere where 2-3 artists before me are on the same beat.
Yeah,
I don't like leasing beats. Yeah, I don't like leasing beats. That's probably why I don't have fucking 50,000 songs out, because I'm the type of person, if I like it, I'm gonna purchase it.
Yeah. Or work out.
It might take me a little. Yeah, it might take me a little longer to put something out, but that's only because I'm being smart about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I fucking have a love-hate relationship with SoundClick. I have a love-hate relationship with SoundClick.
And that, mind you, but that's before BeatStars, for anybody that don't know what SoundClick is.
Right. When I was on the indie label back in 2000, from 2007 to 2010, fucking that's how it was. Simon was like, yo, go on SoundClick, there's mad beats. Even though he didn't purchase any of them, it's just, you know what I mean, the fact that I had to go on there is just like, yo, like I have a love-hate. Even though like I've come across like VTZ and Cinema, like to name some guys who actually stood out to me, and Anno Domini, them guys, you know, I thought they were phenomenal fucking beat makers, producers, however you want to categorize them. But speaking of that difference, right? What is your views on the difference between beat making, like a beat maker and a producer? Like, how do you see that? Like, what's your difference in them?
A beat maker just creates beats to sell, period, or just creates the beats and then dishes out to you. A producer will actually sit in the studio with you and actually not only create the beat, work around your vocals and actually edit the shit and be more hands-on with the record, as opposed to just giving you the beat. So that's the biggest differences to me.
And do you think beat makers should get offended when they look at album credits and it says beat by instead of produced by?
No, I honestly don't think they should get offended. Like, if they really want to make a career out of this, you gotta learn from the greats first and foremost. You got Timbaland, Dre, Scott Storch. These people will actually sit in the studio sessions with the artists. Not only just do the beat, they structuring the song as well. So sometimes you got to take the extra effort. Now, that's not to say that everybody's worth that effort, because as a producer myself, sometimes you want to do that, but then what if somebody lives out of state? You know what I mean? Like, what if their studio is too far away for you to actually attend?
Right.
But still, you know, this technology is at all-time high. You can actually transfer
Exactly.
files, you know, send
Exactly.
me the Pro Tools file. I do the edits on my end, and then we go back and forth that way.
Or have Katie set up a StreamYard link and y'all can fucking live stream through there, and you know what I mean? You can, guys, shouts to Katie K. Katie K Photography, IV Productions. Welcome to the
Look,
Raw Zone.
she's
I have to plug that in, Katie. You have to plug that in.
Wait, what
plug
did
that
I?
in for the view.
No.
We good.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Adios. So moving forward, right? And we're close to the end here.
Yeah.
Being an independent artist from New York, who's familiar with a good amount of artists and platforms, what would you like to see change to where the artist can benefit more from the platforms rather than coming across those who want to charge good $600 to $800 for a mixtape slot or 7 minutes on a stage? Like, what would you like to see done for the art? What would you like to see change so that artists can benefit more from opportunities?
Why would you ask that question, you petty asshole?
Because I'm a petty asshole.
Well, my honest answer to that, though, okay. Well, what I'd like to see change is more. Well, technically now, because we're in a pandemic, you can't honestly get none of these artists for anything now, unfortunately. So it's kind of the wake up call is already here, technically. You know what I mean? Like, so that the changes kind of happened drastically, where it's like now we got to, you know, figure out a different way of how to do these shows now that we can't, you know, be in the actual, you know, showcase or indoors to actually perform. But to answer your question, I would like to see more fairness. You know what I mean? Like I need a little bit more fairness when it comes to business. Like I feel like, yes, you're supposed to invest and put in money for yourself, and the more money you put in for yourself, the better it would be. But there's a but to that. Be fair. Like, just pretty much, if say I'm a producer, right, and I know you're an artist that don't have a budget, well, I'm going to charge you $5,000 for a beat. You know what I mean? Like, I you know, be fair with people's budgets. Like, if you know you got big art, if the artists have that type of budget, and you feel like you get that out of them, then fine. You know, go for the gusto. But if you know that the majority of these artists are unsigned, they don't have that type of money to keep dishing out all the time. Try to be fair. Like, just find a medium to where everybody wins. You know, because I feel a lot of promoters want to make themselves win before anybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
and I also want to stop. I also want promoters to stop giving these artists false dreams. You know, me and my man was just talking about this today. He used to work at Jive Records. And I'm going to tell you some industry shit too. And when he was working at Jive, when the showcases started popping up, they used to offer him all the time, like, yo, come set this showcase. Yo, we ain't gonna really sign nobody, but yo, we just go take the money and run. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like pretty much these promoters get in league with these A&Rs, and they know the promoters knows what it is. Like, let's be real. You know, these A&Rs ain't coming out to Brooklyn, New York to see unknown artists to perform and hopefully get it. They ain't trying to get it. They ain't giving nobody no deals. Like, let's be real. So stop giving these artists false dreams. Like, let's stop it altogether. And what's the third? There's something else I always want to say too. I said be fair. Stop giving false dreams. Stop trying to cram too many damn artists in one bill. Let's stop that.
But it's a smart technique though, because All right.
It is.
You
It
get
is.
you get the promoter, right? Now, granted, whoever puts in the money for the venue, yes, you have to make your money back. I
Correct.
am not disqualifying that from the conversation. You have to make the money back. The
Okay.
problem now is you're only offering artists first place, second place, third place. Now,
Mhm.
as an artist, the smart thing to do would be to go in there, flyers, CDs, whatever it is you think is a smart way to get your name in people's hands and in pockets.
Yeah.
But once the whoever put the money into space, right? Once they get their money back, now they have about 14 or 15 other artists that they pocket that money. Because you already made your money back. If you're charging artists, let's say you're charging an artist $100, $100 to $150, you're gonna get 15 tickets to sell to get your money back.
Yeah.
All right. Now you get the first 5 artists, you've made your money back that you put in to rent the venue. Now you have 15 more artists that now you're taking all their money and now you're breaking it up between whoever you went half in on the venue with. And all you're offering artists is first place, second place, third place, first place, 30 to 45-minute interview on their radio show that's probably not bringing in a lot of traffic. Second place, yeah, about a 15-minute interview. Third place, you might get a free leased beat. There you go. And now you get disqualified if you perform and leave.
I mean, well, what I meant by that third thing, right? When I'm talking about, okay, here's my bone to pick. When I go to an event and I see 15 to 20 acts. Granted, I get it. You have to make your money to cover the venue, and I know this because I've done this back in the day. Like in 2014, I was doing showcases too, just like everybody else. So I know this for a fact. But for me, if I'm I'm speaking as a person that's viewing the show, if I'm sitting here, guys sit through the whole night through 15 to 20 artists, right? And mind you, you're giving them 10 to 15 minutes each. 10 to 15 minutes each. Half these artists ain't even worth 10 minutes. No shade. You know what I mean? Like now, whoever these artists invited out to come to see these shows, they get bored and distracted easy. And then that could lead to people leaving the venue before the show is actually over. That can lead to unrest and uneasiness where people get cranky and then some bullshit happens. You know the vibe. So I think if you minimize it to 12, at least 12, if you're giving everybody 10 minutes each, right? Also, organize your shit better too. That's another thing. If you're gonna be doing these showcases, right? I would say at most your show should only be 2 hours max. Give the first hour for people to show up to arrive. 30 minutes to start setting up the host and make sure the mics work and everything. 2 hour show. Show ends hour if y'all want to bullshit and party and drink and network. You know what I mean? Like, but it shouldn't be dragged out to the whole. And like I've been to so many shows where I see the time goes to 2:00 in the morning. Like I can only speak for myself. I have a 9 to 5, bro. Like I'm not staying out to 2:00 in the damn morning to perform or see somebody perform. Like I'm just gonna be honestly, openly real. You know, I gotta report to my job at 9 on the dot, meaning I need like at least 7 to 8 hours sleep.
Word.
So that and unfortunately, most of these events they do it during the weekend because most of the artists that they invite into or booking they of younger age. They like college students maybe, or people just getting out of school and they don't have a job or career, so they could do that with them. But still, the same shit goes. If you're gonna be booking shit during the week and asking people to come out, you know what I mean? Like nobody ain't trying to stay out all night watching the show. Cap the show to 2 hours. 2 hours max, and then afterwards everybody party and bullshit.
Word, and one thing, man, and I'm gonna always give them their credit for doing this, and I think going forward, these showcase platforms should really do this, right?
Yeah.
And not enough. This has only happened one time to me.
Yeah.
So when Major Stage,
Oh, okay.
with Major Stage, right?
Yeah.
This is around the time they were still fresh, starting out.
Okay.
This is Pyramid. This is Club Pyramid, New York. If
Yeah.
anybody knows what Club Pyramid is, the EO Dub. So they had I was booked to perform, and they had the artists go inside the venue 30 minutes before showtime. Only the artists for a sound check. Check one. Sound check. Get the artists in the venues 30 minutes before you open the doors. Let them do a sound check so you can get the levels and everything can flow smooth.
Facts.
Now, if you're booking an artist, if you're putting a bill together for artists who are gonna perform, and that's one thing too, that bill wasn't even overbooked, which fucking salute to them. But if you're putting on artists to perform, and you're limiting these artists to two songs,
Okay, which ain't bad.
what they did was, let's say, and I forgot how many people were on the bill, but let me just throw out a number 10, right?
Yeah.
10 artists on the bill. What they had us doing, we all performed one song, right? Went in a mission, went right back to perform the second song.
That's dope.
That does is, if somebody goes in there with fucking 25, 30 people, you keep 25 to 30 people indoors.
That's a dope idea.
But what they don't do, because they don't care about the artist, they overbook. You're gonna perform, we'll move on to the next artist. So what that artist is done, what that artist does, they don't care themselves. They got the footage they need, probably drink a little bit, they leave, they take the crowd with them.
Yeah.
Me, if I'm gonna organize a showcase, whatever it is, that's how I'm operating my shit. All right, I'm putting niggas on. I'm only gonna put about 8 to 10 acts, 12 if I'm 12 depending what the situation is. I'm gonna bring you guys in 30 minutes before we open the doors. Sound check. Everybody, I'm limiting you guys to about 2 to 3 songs. 2 songs, I'd feel happier with 2 songs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the bill. 1 song per artist, intermission, drink, go outside, smoke, do whatever it is you gotta do. Bring you back in. We're gonna run through the bill again, and you guys are gonna perform the second song. So if the crowd enjoyed the first song, they're obviously gonna watch the second song, and who knows, man, you're gonna get fucking followers, or you're gonna get other artists who respect what you're doing. You got build from there, take off, branch off, do your own podcast, create your own group, whatever it is. Shake the ground that these industry niggas walk on.
Yeah.
Because they watching. These industry niggas is watching.
All the time.
I see Cassidy in my stories. I see Jag in my stories. I see a bunch of niggas that's in my stories. They're watching. Do shit and keep their attention. Stop jerking these artists. Stop screwing these artists. These are hardworking fucking artists. Artists that are not in gangs, that are not selling drugs.
Facts.
Who are working, and instead of saving up for something that's more important in the long run, they love this shit so much that they're investing their money, that they're getting their checks, and they're putting it towards their craft.
Facts.
And what you guys are doing, you're charging these artists $500 for a fucking mixtape that nobody's getting signed off of.
Yep.
You're overbooking the fucking mixtapes, because right now there's the pandemic's going on. A lot of these industry niggas ain't really making moves, because all their moves are basically shows, and the shows are not happening. So what are they doing? They're linking up with some nigga block something. Now, I'm doing a mixtape with this guy, 800 for a mixtape slot. I'm not even getting a fucking official drop. I'd be lucky if I'm fucking mid mixtape, but we all know you're not gonna hear me until you get to track 29. If you even get that far.
Get that far, yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, to all you platforms, stop fucking jerking these artists, and artists, be smart, man. There's other shit that you can do. Look, you got Live Jewels, Quarantine and Rap.
Yeah.
You got other things that you can do to fucking to get your name out.
Yeah. You know, and one thing I always want to say to artists, do your research and do your homework first before jumping into anything. Like, that's just common sense. Like, don't be so eager to get out there just because you want to blow up and become the next thing coming. You know what I mean? Like, do your research, take your time with it, and also take risks too, because even if it is right, it may not work neither. You know, so you still have to take risks, but just know, you know, once you make that mistake and learn from that lesson, don't do it again. You know, and that's all that is.
Word. Live, before we cut out, I started doing this, right? Before the end of these live streams, what I started doing is a trivia.
Oh.
Now, I'm gonna name, this is a bit different, being that you're a double threat.
Okay.
Being an artist and producer. Now, this trivia, it consists of you collaborating with certain artists, and you also have to produce that. No rewrites, no re-records, first takes. On a scale from 1 to 5. 1 to 5 mics. I'm gonna name some artists, and first thought in your mind where you think the song might go. There's no right or wrong question. There's no right or wrong answer.
Gotcha.
It's either do you think it might work out, or you don't think it might work out.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 5 mics. These are some of the artists that I came up with.
Do you need
right? Nah, we good.
Yeah.
Black Thought.
5.
Eve.
3. 3 at most.
Redman.
5.
Papoose.
I give him a 3 or 4.
All right. Talib Kweli.
4.
Joel Ortiz.
5.
Sky Zoo.
5.
All right, now this is the grand finale. Well, before I even get to that name, DMX.
100.
Some people might hate me on this one. I say 3.
Okay. All right. Now you're in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You've worked with those artists. 3 suits.
Oh shit! What happened?
He froze.
Oh, he froze.
So if you were to now be in the booth with them,
we good?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Good with the technical difficulty?
I mean, this is on you because right now your face looking matched. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
So what I was trying to say, you're in the studio, you in the booth.
All right.
Drop these producers.
No. You're sitting at the mixing board. 3 suits walk in the studio. Drop a bag. You've never seen that amount of money in your life.
Okay.
And they tell you, yo, this bag of money right now is going to change your life forever. Okay. All you got to do is put that street mentality to bed. 6ix9ine walks in the room.
Oh my God, you really
you
did
either take you take the bag and change your life and do something worthy with the money, and
Now-
rate that shit from 1 to 5 mics, or you say, nah, fam, I'm good.
Now, am I rapping or just on the boards?
You're making the beat and you're on the song with the nigga. Just like how you are with the rest of the names I named. They come,
No.
they drop the bag. Nah,
Nope.
there you have it.
Hey, a lot of people ain't gonna believe me, but believe me, I will leave the bag where it's sitting at.
Nah, believe it or not, there are people, you know what I mean, who would do it. There are people who won't do it.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong to that. Shouts to Katie for coming in on Quarantine and Rap. We salute you. Yo, Live Johnson, thank you for coming on the Quarantine and Rap tonight. I had fun chopping it up with you, picking your brain
Yes,
about
sir.
certain things, getting your insights on certain things. Comeback is in the works. Better believe the bar crisis coming out to play. It ain't safe for none of you niggas.
At all,
Yo,
man.
Live.
At all.
Live. The floor is yours. Please promote whatever it is you want to promote. Link us to anything you want anybody to follow you on. The floor is yours.
All right. So for my artistry, you can hit up my website, www.livejohnson.com. For my beats, if you want to purchase some beats, go to www.edcbeats.com with an S at the end. And you can follow me on IG and Twitter at Live Johnson 718, on my YouTube, Live Johnson. And yo, click on that comeback video. Yeah, I promise you're gonna enjoy it.
All right. Live.
I got a question, right?
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
So I was told this morning, right, to take this out of the vault. So Live Johnson produced something 2.5 years ago for a show called Monday Night Raw.
Oh.
That features Ray Pearson on it. So I was told at some point I had to play this, but seeing it's the end, I think it's more fitting. What do you think, Ray? Are we paying homage to it?
Well, the problem with that is Facebook loves fucking muting
I know,
us.
listen, Facebook is stuck a whole wee-wee right now, but remember, this isn't on any streaming platform. So they could kiss my ass.
All right, so before we do that, Live, we're gonna send you backstage right now, Katie, before you air that video, just for old time's sake. So shouts to everybody else on the cipher. I'm gonna do a special closing out. Live, stay in the backstage.
All
right. So, am I good? My levels are good before I do this special closeout?
Yes.
All right. Give me a second as I get that. I just want to thank everybody who's tuned in. I appreciate you all. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning, doing Quarantine and Rap, this is for the artist. This is what I try to get information for artists to utilize. Not only them, but myself. I'm forever gonna stay a student to this music shit and utilize the information to further your musical journey. So with that being said, I want to shout out a couple people. And they didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this because that's the whole purpose of this shit. So without it being in a particular order, shouts to the Lyrical Fix podcast. Shouts to Danny Ray. Shouts to Tori Indeed. Shouts to Candy. Shouts to Reflections with Val. Shouts to Talk That Talk with Miss Mitz and Stephanie, my homegirl. Shouts to the Jabba Tears podcast. Shouts to the DS show. And if I missed you, don't take offense to it. This is what I started. Quarantine and Rap. This is for the artists. This is for the people. This is not about me. This is for everybody to utilize and move forward and further their career. And on that note, while I work on next week's guest, it's been a pleasure as always. With that being said, y'all already know how I fucking sign out of this motherfucking live stream. Right! Suave.
She's green. Yo, what's up? This is Katie Cade. This is Get Rock Season 2018. This is the Raw Cypher. Yo, shout out to Live Johnson for the dope-ass speech you're about to hear. Shout out to Oz for this undisclosed location. And if you don't like it, well, fuck yourself. You're done.
Yo, this is beast mode. I will knock your motherfucking front teeth out like that. Emily B knows there ain't no time to slack. I won't stop until my whip again. Got my garage looking like Jesus back. Stay in your place, I'll bring in your crib with the Emmett Till mask on. Don't ever recognize the face. I've been trying since the snotty nose. Talk shit, I blow your brains out. Your thoughts are looking like Sloppy Joe. Yeah, even Poppy knows he can't stop me. And you ain't never catch a body, not even Takashi. I'm causing anguish, so fuck who we bang with. I came to swing hands like I'm screaming in sign language. Nigga, I pull up on you like a zipper, then I put my hands around like this is a game of Twister. Trust that all you rappers suck, doing me is a must. The way I cross that line, well, it's a plus. You don't have the heart to spare. Fuck with my family, you make me hold this arm like a heart attack. Fuck trying to prove shit. I'm ill, you can't hack it. Final destination. Y'all saw this before it happened. Drake, get him. I used to give a fuck like Harvey Weinstein. Now I give a fuck less like rape victims. I walk the path that I paved, so when I'm gone, you'll all remember my name. Drake. It was all good just about a week ago. Once you get on, watch the bitches start tweaking. No, I still play the block until the price of coke drop. With a bad Cuban mommy, last name Sosa. Great aim, Steph Curry with the golden gun. Now you can see why I am the chosen one. Dirty money, but I make it look legal. I play Shaq on the block, I got the diesel. Plus a lawyer to get me off like Cochran. He go hard in the paint, who could stop him? Spin the block with a tomahawk. Body out like a mind and thoughts. That's a fact, that's a fact. Shots popping out the AR. I'm a shooter with the Smith, call me JR. Stay down with my day ones. They miss shells when they case some. And I don't mean the jeans when I say we ball, man. Been balling since a young and Mike Jordan. Blake Griffin, them things different, they can't witness. They see what I'm doing, but yet they don't get it. That's a fact. Yeah. Boss saying you should quit. Cuban saying fuck your life. My nigga, I bet you'll be dumb tight. I'm a boss, let my gun go off. Reach for my chain, I turn you into gumbo sauce. Cut the chopper spit sound like a drum go off. Bang! 24 bars, they say give me your best. You're such a slippery slope who won't get it the wettest. Killing these niggas, guess I'm considered a weapon. They all taking shots, what's the block that you reppin'? But back to rapping, snapping off on every single track. Don't disrespect what's mine, then I won't never see it as a threat. I'm hungry, eating everything till I see there's nothing left. Let's eat, that's the Tino Kelly, but we still the fucking best. Yeah, it's crazy. You know they lurking and creeping and breaching. They always minding my business, conniving. These rats are sneaky. I taunt them, I never feed them. I leave them starving while eating the rooms for logical reason. I got no time to be beefing. Hey, mama. I know I'm destined for greatness. The cipher includes the great ones. This life I live is amazing. Business trips planned out on top of all the vacations. I made enough to invest it on top of the money spending. I hope my pops is watching and my mama has the patience. It might be more than a minute before you get to see a grandkid. I'm not trying to see 1,000. I'm just trying to get to millions. So bear with me for the moment. I ain't trying to have no kids yet. Hey, mama, I know I act a fool, but I'll be back with 2 bagging. Yeah, one's for you. This rap thing gonna pay you for the bills that's due, and I'ma get that life that we never knew. Hey, mama. Oh, damn it, you know what time it is. I lost my mind, nobody move. Help me find this shit. Spit like llamas, do bars fluid. I'm so disgusting. And when they talking elite, I'm who they discussing. Make no mistake when I'm smiling, I'm up to no good. Watch the way you stepping, you unfamiliar in my hood. You untrained mutts think you bad and won't show your teeth. You dogs try to bark at this vet and get put to sleep. I'm on the road like an avalanche. What you laughing at? Beat your head with a doll. Now you gonna have to get your cabbage patched. You gold plated, I'm vibranium, hair trigger. It's Hulkamania, fucking your bitch, calling you nigga. The disrespect is ever vigilant. I'm out for Benjamins. I fuck your women friends and make them act all innocent. Oh my God, it's him again. Words holy like reverend, like cheese in the dryer. I'm trying to see how the cheddar spin. I'm being spent. No need to autocorrect. Semi-automatic flow correct you niggas. No text. When my group chat, the message is they know where you at. Then pull up with mad guns. No lowercase, just all caps. None of you frauds could ever stop me. I got beats from years back claiming I raped them. Guess I'm Bill Cosby. I like my head sloppy and my weed loud. Enter like a wrestler when I walk in through the smoke cloud. Cold Ace. Now let me take a minute to address some shit because I'm exquisite and testing this is gonna land you where the exit is. I'm reckless. I calm down pushing my agenda. But since you claim me king, I gotta snap next. Exorcist, top tier from a block with them block spear. Warheads on them ball heads, dum-dums. The shots there pierce the soul. Rondo with a bullet, just a give and go. Hit the mark, shooters on a wing like a pick and roll. No respect, you put me in a bad place mentally. You claiming that it's hip hop? I'm feeling like you sent for me. So now I'm getting raw in this lobby. Try me and flatlines are gonna get added to the symphony. I'm still tripping. I got accolades and I'm still bitching. The kickback like a donkey, the nine still glitching. They say I'm too hot for what's his name. Well, this is Barnum and Bailey. Let's see if homie can duck a flame. The bully of the circuit when I do shit. The truest while I'm clutching on the piece like the Buddhist. A Draymond warrior, chin and eye bruiser. Curry playing Durant. I got a team full of shooters. Being from the Uber since a nigga spread rumors. Rap lines that get you flatline way sooner. No sense of humor. You greater, you walked on, get chalked on. My crown ain't nothing for you to talk on, nigga.